Alright guys, so the other day we had some more election results coming in. So we had both Colorado, the Democratic primary for the Senate, and the same for Kentucky. So bad news, guys. Basically what happened is Amy McGrath kind of just stole the vote. She essentially what she did, right? She during the early voting stages, which started on June 8th, so before Charles Booker really rose to prominence, to like his peak levels where he was leading in the polls and all that good stuff. Amy McGrath spent all her money to make sure every single person she could reach had a mail-in ballot and voted early. And as a result, now she basically won by 2 points in Kentucky, which is unfortunate, but I think if Charles Booker keeps pushing for change, and as time will tell. And listen, first of all, I don't think Amy McGrath will beat Mitch McConnell, and even if she did, she would probably be found out as being the fraud that she is, because she doesn't actually believe in anything progressive. She's just like she's a phony. She's a phony hack. She doesn't know what she believes in. She does whatever like Chuck Schumer is gonna tell her to do, and that's about it basically. And she's gonna act like she's some kind of Trump supporter. Like, what are you, kid? Nobody really wants you. So yeah, I think if Charles Booker keeps pushing, and in the next, he should push. I'd have to think he should push in the next Senate primary, so in 2024. And I think I think he'll probably win if he keeps up his momentum. But obviously, it's a long way from now till then, so we'll see what happens. Then we also have the Colorado race, which was between Hickenlooper and Romanoff. Now Hickenlooper is the epitome of the word fraud, right? This guy literally, he said some extremely questionable things in his past. He just ignored a subpoena. Like he basically ran the messiest race a man could run, and somehow he still beat Andrew Romanoff, who's I wouldn't say pure progressive, but he's definitely much more progressive and genuine and authentic than this guy. But he beat him by 20 points, which is disheartening. But I think on the whole, the movement towards the left and anti-establishment figures like Jamal Bowman are really rising, and I think a lot of it has to do with the young people making calls. Like, there was a report that said I think it was over half of the phone calls made for Jamal Bowman in New York were made by the I forgot what it's called, but there's this youth movement. I think it's called the Sunrise Movement, and yeah, I just think it's powerful, and I think once people really start focusing on local and state level elections, it'll have a big impact on the general politics that we see. But guys, the big one, which is not really a big deal right now, is Nancy Pelosi against Jamil Baton. Listen, it's a huge gap. I think Pelosi has 74% of the vote right now. Oh no, if there was going to be an election today, she'd win 74% of the vote in the 12th district of California. But I think this Jamil Baton guy, he genuinely believes in reform and in anti-establishment things that Chuck Schumer wouldn't really like, and so if Jamil Baton is able to make an insurgency and beat Nancy Pelosi, guys, I think that's going to be huge for the left, for the Democrats. It'll be huge for politics, because not only will it shift left-wing politics, Democrat politics, but as a result, it'll also turn the Overton window dramatically to the left, which will be much better, I think. and they won't be serving the corporate elite as much, because they have actual principles, and they have principles, and they believe in things, and they don't just do the bidding of big corporations, or at least that's what they state they are going to do. They say, obviously everybody says it, but listen, the difference is some people say it in public. They say, oh, I'm a progressive, but then you see other policy propositions, and it's all just the basic shit. But these people actually want to have substantive policy change that will breed real change and positive change for normal working class people, which is what you need. And yeah, so I think on the whole it's been a really good election for progressives. Like, you see the whole Elliot Engel thing, he got pushed out. AOC crushed the MSNBC host, Jamal Bowman. Yeah, it's been great, and I think as time passes, it'll only become more and more. I think the movement will only grow as time passes because of young people, and just because of general momentum they seem to be having at the moment. So we'll see what happens, but it's looking promising so far.